step 5. Ano po, so before we proceed to the step 5, so let's just have a recap of what we've discussed. Dito na lang sa part ng design process. Ano po kasi continuation siya ng design process. So again, yung step 1 natin, the first step in engineering economic analysis is defining the problem. Okay, so again, reiterate ko lang po na kailangan intindihan natin ano ba yung problem. Okay, and then it must be clearly stated before yung start ng analysis. Ano po? So, kahapon, di ba meron tayong example where we reformulate and redefine yung problem natin. Kasi sometimes, kailangan nating i-redefine yung problem natin na hindi lang tayo nakafocus dun sa kunwari dun sa problem ni company, ano po, na mag-loan dun sa bank. But itinoon or ifinokus natin yung pagre-redefine ng problem dun sa kung ano talaga yung kailangan ni company, kundi yung mapataas yung profit niya. Okay? Kasi nga, the problem definition sets the foundation ng engineering economy studies. And then after defining the problem, the next step is to come up with possible alternatives. So sabi ko nga po, this has two parts. First is searching for potential alternatives, and then the next one is screening the alternatives. Ano po? So we're going to look for as many possible solutions as we can. And then after listing all those possible solutions, we will narrow them down to a smaller group of feasible alternatives. So doon tayo pipili alin bang alternative yung mas uh, magpagbibigay sa atin ng best economic result or outcome. So yan yung ating example kahapon. And then step 3. So it's all about development of prospective outcome. So here, the goal is to predict what will happen financially and non-financially. So yung focus natin, hindi lang lagi financial aspect, but also non-financial. So dun papasok yung mga environmental impact, the employee satisfaction, the safety of the public, the customer, 'di ba? Flexibility, etc. Okay. So again, not just the financial aspect yung i-consider, but also other factors such as non-monetary factors or non-financial factors. Then, for step 4, after estimating the possible outcomes of each alternative dun sa step 3, the next step is to decide how we will judge and compare them. So, ito na yung selection or selecting a decision criterion. So, this is just related to principle of engineering economy that we need to be consistent. Okay, so consistency is the key. And then here kay step 4 ay tawag dito, the focus should be on the long-term interest ni organization. Ano po, hindi lang dun sa short-term gains niya. Okay? So kung for example nga, alin ba yung mas pipiliin natin? Mabilis yung payback period pero mababa yung long-term returns, o dun tayo sa steady lang, steady lang and then higher profits naman over time. So kumbaga, siyempre dun tayo sa long term, ano po. So kahit pa steady lang yung, tawag dito, yung progress, ano po, pero over time naman malaki yung kikitain natin. So mas pipiliin natin yung kaysa ang bilis nating nakuha yung kapital natin, ang bilis bumalik ng kapital, pero in the long run hindi naman gano'n kaganda yung returns, wala din, ano po. Ayan. And then proceed tayo kay step 5. So after we define the problem, develop alternatives, and decided on the decision criterion. So the next step is to analyze and directly compare the options. So yun yung meron tayo dito kay step 5. Okay? We're here, gumagamit tayo, we will use cash flow estimates. So, kumbaga, yun yung main tool na gagamitin natin for step 5, the cash flow forecast. Ano po? So, cash flow forecast. So, yung cash flow forecast, doon natin malalaman how much money will flow in and out. So, ano ba yung magiging revenues or savings natin? And then, ano ba yung magiging cost or expenses natin for each alternative over time? Okay? For example, kung bibili tayo ng bagong machine, we will estimate its purchase cost, yearly maintenance, and the extra revenue it can generate. So, hindi lang tayo basta bibili ng bagong machine. Kailangan alamin din natin, 'di ba? I-forecast natin, i-estimate natin magkano ba yung magiging purchase cost niya? Magkano ba yung magiging annual maintenance cost niya? And magkano ba yung magiging revenue na tama, magkano ba yung ma-generate niya revenue yearly? Ano po? So, from that, kailangan natin gumamit ng cash flow forecast. So, para alam natin gaano ba kalaki yung perang lalabas at papasok for each alternative. And then, future numbers are never certain. Diba? Na-discuss natin kahapon, uncertainty. Kasi there are factors like inflation, diba? May mga factors like inflation, exchange rates, diba? Yung palitan ng piso sa dolyar, piso sa pound, piso sa yen, etc. And also, hindi lang naman yun but the new government regulations can affect the actual outcome natin. Okay? That is why considering risk and our uncertainty is important in step 5. Ano po? Kasi future numbers are never certain. There are a lot of factors na kailangan nating i-consider because there are factors na makakaapekto dun sa actual outcomes natin. Even though we've already estimated, 'di ba, the numbers, pero actually hindi din yun yung lumalabas in the end. That is why we should focus on differences between alternatives. Doon papasok yung principle to natin. So what really matters is how the alternatives differ. Ano po, so paano ba yung pagkakaiba-iba ng mga alternatives natin? So yung mga differences na yon are usually expressed in monetary terms. So yung mga differences naman na meron tayo, edi we will convert that into monetary terms. So dito kay step 5, this is all about carefully analyzing yung cash flows natin and future uncertainties of each alternative. And then comparing them side by side para makita natin which one will provide the best economic advantage. Okay? And then after going through the first 5 steps, defining the problem, developing alternatives, estimating outcomes, setting a decision criterion, and then analyzing, comparing alternatives. The next step is to choose the best option. So, alin na ba dito yung pinaka sa pinaka? Ano po? So, based on previous work, if the earlier steps, ano po yung step 1 to 5 natin were done carefully. So, syempre, yung choice usually becomes clear. Ano po, mas nagiging malinaw, alin bang option yung pipiliin natin. So, yung preferred alternative naturally stands out, di ba? As the one that best meets yung problem definition natin and decision criteria. So, kung maayos natin nagawa, step 1 to 5, na-define natin na maayos alin ba yung problem. Kasi yun naman talaga yung pinaka kailangan natin gawin. Kasi hindi tayo makakapag-develop ng alternative kung hindi defined, well-defined yung problem. Ano po? And then nakapag-develop tayo ng alternative na estimate natin ano ba yung possible outcome. We set a decision criterion to filter out, 'di ba? Para ma-narrow down natin alin ba yung magandang option. And then analyzing, comparing those alternatives based on their differences. So kung nagawa natin yun na maayos, malinaw sa atin yung choice and naturally nag-stand out yung alternative na makapagbibigay sa atin ng best economic advantage. Okay? And for step 6, so dito na papasok yung quality of the result. Because quality of the analysis is equal to the quality of decision. Ibig sabihin, good quality analysis means good quality decision. Poor quality analysis means poor quality decision. So, kumbaga, the reliability of the chosen solution nakadepende on how sound and accurate yung earlier cash flow modeling, forecasting, and analysis natin. Okay? So, since nga equal po, kumbaga directly proportional as being said mathematically, ano po, poor analysis can lead to the wrong choice. Okay? So, even if the procedure looks correct, kung poor, weak yung analysis, magka-come up pa rin tayo sa poor choice, wrong choice. Okay? And in engineering design, this step 6 corresponds to specifying the chosen solution so it can be implemented. Okay. So, kumbaga here sa step 6, we are simply about selecting the best alternative that the analysis shows as most beneficial. Okay. So, dito na natin pipiliin kung ano yung pinaka-alternative based sa analysis natin. And the real challenge lies in doing the earlier steps properly. Kasi nga po, hindi tayo makakapag-come up to the best alternative if the earlier steps weren't done properly. So, if the earlier steps are solid, ano po, solido, ano po, maayos ang pagkakagawa, the preferred option will be clear. So, malinaw sa atin yung option. Okay? And then, after choosing and implementing the preferred alternative, the work is not finished. So, hindi pa doon nagtatapos. Even though we've already selected the preferred alternative, hindi pa doon natatapos yung ating design process. Because the final step is about monitoring, tracking, and checking results to see if they actually match what was expected. Okay? So, kailangan nating i-monitor yung ating naging alternative. If it matches the expected result natin. Ano po? So, we need to monitor during operation. We need to keep track of the project while it's running. So, para masigurado natin na yung goals natin are being achieved and the problems are spotted early. Ano po? So, para nakita natin na yung goal na gusto nating mangyari, the objective na gusto nating mangyari ay na-achieve natin. And then from here, from by monitoring, by tracking, we can compare the estimates versus the reality. Diba? We can look at the actual outcomes and then we will compare them with the original forecast. So, kumbaga, if you predicted that the new equipment would save 50 100,000 pesos a year, but it only saves 30,000 pesos annually. So the difference should be understood. Ano po? So yun ang forecast natin, 50,000 annually, pero 35K lang naman. So there's the difference of 15K. So ano kaya yung naging problem? And from that difference, 'di ba? Matututo tayo and we will improve it. Okay? Kasi yung goal natin isn't just to check the performance but also to learn how to make better forecast and analysis in the future. Kaya nga kailangan tanggapin natin ano po yung feedback. Kasi yung feedback na yun yung mag-strengthen sa atin for the future engineering and economic decisions na gagawin natin. Okay? So just like the problem definition, the step one, this step often na nga eh, ayan, is often skipped or poorly done in practice. So, often skip or poorly done in practice. Because many organizations na hindi naman na nila, basta na lang sila, oh, ito yung gagawin natin, ito naman na yung best alternative. Kasi yan yung best alternative, hindi na natin siya itatrack. Kasi alam naman natin na yan na yung best. Okay. So, hindi nila minomonitor yung result after the implementation of that alternative. Meaning, nami-miss out nila yung mga valuable lessons na pwede nilang makuha for that implementation. Ano po? And we should not skip that. Okay? So, kagaya ni problem definition, step 1, hindi natin pwedeng i-skip ito. Kasi dito tayo matututo. Okay? So, step 7, it makes sure that the chosen solution actually delivers the expected results and will provide feedback to improve yung future decisions natin. So, it's about learning, adjusting, and then continuously improving. So, that is our 7 steps of the design process. Okay? So, maliwanag naman po yung 7 step natin, the design process. Okay po. Okay? So, dahil po malinaw sa atin yung 7 step na yon, edi proceed po tayo sa sunod natin. So, ayan. So, kumbaga, this is just the flow chart po, nung design process. So, you need to recognize first the problem to be solved needs to be defined, okay, and then formulate what are the possible solutions, analyze, specify the preferred alternative. So you will compare the differences of the different alternatives, different options, communicate, and then completely specify the solution. So yan lang din naman yun. Ano po? So the summary, so ayan po engineering economy. It is guided by 7 fundamental principles and most analysis errors arise from violating them. So yung 7 step natin aligns with the engineering design process and supports sound decision making in both professional and personal contexts. So overall, yung ating engineering economy, the econ will provide systematic tools and techniques for addressing complex financial, business, and environmental problems, making them easier to analyze and solve. So that's the importance of econ. Ano po? So hindi lang siya financial, but also business and environmental problems. So, because of the tools, techniques na meron tayo sa engineering economy, makakatulong siya sa atin to make wise decisions. Ayan. So, we have here sample problem. Okay? So, in this problem, we have a friend. So, a friend of yours, both a small apartment bought a small apartment building for $100,000 in a college town. So she spent $10,000 of her own money on the building and obtained a mortgage from a local bank for the remaining $90,000. So the annual mortgage payment to the bank is $10,500. Your friend also expects that annual maintenance on the building and grounds will be $15,000. There are four apartments with bedrooms each in the building that can be rented for $360 per month. So refer to the seven-step procedure to answer this question. Does your friend have a problem? If so, what is it? What are her alternatives? Estimate the economic consequences and other required data for the alternatives in Part B. Select a criterion for discriminating among alternatives and use it to advise your friend on which course of action to pursue. Attempt to analyze and compare the alternatives in view of at least one criterion in addition to cost. And what should your friend do based on the information you and she have generated? Ayan. So, anong meron dun sa ating problem? Kindly analyze nga po. Ano ba yung example problem natin all about? Ayan. So, ano po meron sa ating sample problem? So, we have a friend. So, meron daw po tayong friend, kaibigan, na bumili ng isang apartment building amounting to $100,000. So, she spent $10,000 of her own money and she obtained a mortgage from a local bank for the remaining $90,000. So, annually, yung payment niya sa bangko ay $10,500. And then she is also expecting an annual maintenance of $15,000. Yung building, meron siyang four apart four apartment or four units to na may two bedrooms each. And nagkakahalaga siya yung rent ng $360 per month. So the question is, does your friend have a problem? If so, what it is? Okay. Ayan. So may problema daw ba yung kaibigan natin? And ano yung problema nung friend natin? Okay. So by analyzing the problem, if you will look at the numbers, Ano po yung magiging expenses ng kaibigan natin? Anyone? Ano ba yung possible expense niya or cost? Ano yung expenses niya? Yes po, Mr. Dolorito.
Ma'am, try lang po. Ano,
Sige po.
ah, 20, total expenses nga po, di ba po?
Apo.
Nasa, ano, sabihin po natin baka nasa 24, 25K po, ganun po.
24, 25K. Why? Ano ba
Kasi
yung
po kung,
possible expense niya?
kasi po kung, yeah, sorry po. Kasi po kung sasabihin natin na ang maintenance po ay magiging 15K
Apo.
and magiging more magiging mortgage payment naman po natin ay 10,500. Therefore po, kung pagsusumahin po natin yung dalawang yun, is magiging 25,500 po ang magiging total po kung sakali.
Okay. Very good. So, since meron siyang annual mortgage payment sa bangko na 10,500, meron siyang annual maintenance na 15K. So, annually, yung expenses ng kaibigan natin is $25,500 per year. Okay? It's due to the mortgage and the maintenance. Ayan. How about the revenue? How about the revenue? Anyone? Magkano ba yung magiging revenue niya? Yes, Miss Omali.
Based po sa sample problem, ang rent per month daw po ay $360. Then, meron daw po siyang 4 apartments. Then, total monthly rental income po ay 360. Ita-times po natin yun sa 4, equals po sa $1,440. Ang total annual rental income po niya ay ta-times po natin sa 12, which is magiging $17,280 po.
Ayun. So, thank you, Miss Omali. Nasaan ang aking calculator? Ayan. So, for us to determine the revenue, ano po kasi, tinitingnan natin ano ba yung, may problema ba yung kaibigan natin or wala. Ano po? So, sa revenue, pagdating sa revenue, for you to determine her revenue, so sabi nga po dito, meron siyang the rent amounts to $360 per month. Naka per month yan. Tapos, merong 4 apartments. Ayan. Times 4. So, ibig sabihin, since this is monthly pa, ano po, times natin sa 12 months. Ano po, kasi 12 months meron sa isang taon. Ayan. So, 360 times 4 times 12. So, that is $17,280 per year. So, the question is, does she have a loss or a gain based on our computation of expenses and revenue? Gain ba or loss yung meron yung friend natin? Yes, Mr. Dolorito.
Ma'am, ano po, para ang hula ko lang po para pong loss. Kasi po,
Loss.
po,
Kasi po, sige po.
kasi po, i-base po natin sa income po ay para po mababa masyado at hindi po mako-cover yung mortgage and yung maintenance cost po naman ay hindi pa rin po sapat para ma-cover ito.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dolorito. Thank you. So, tama, ano po, kasi based on our computation of the expenses and the revenues, kung kukunin natin, I mean, if we will to determine the difference between the two, so kukunin natin 25,500 less 17,280. So may makukuha tayong $8,220 per year of loss. Kasi nga po, yung expenses mo, yung expenses mo is greater than your revenue. So hindi sapat yung kinikita mo sa loob ng isang taon para ma-cover yung expenses mo. So technically, may problema yung kaibigan mo. And the problem is that the annual rent income is not enough to cover the annual expenses. That is why she is losing money. Ano po? So nakuha po. Kasi bago natin i-proceed dito sa next slide kasi may solution po siya dito sa next. Ayan. So yun yung problema. Ano po? Kitang-kita natin that greater than yung expenses niya compared to the revenue. And she is losing $8,220 per year. And that is the problem. So, ano po yung magiging option natin or alternative natin? So, the next step, since we've defined the problem, the next step is to develop the alternatives. Ano po? And we have here some possible choices for the defined problem. Okay? First is to raise the rent. Because raising the rent, ano po, tataasan natin yung paupa, it will increase the revenue, her revenue. O kaya naman, let's cut the maintenance cost for us to reduce her expenses. O kaya, sell the building. Selling the building, she can recover some of her investment. Or just walk away, abandon the property. Yun nga lang, it will hurt her reputation and credit reputation. Ano po? So, yan yung mga pwede nating alternatives. Taasan natin yung renta, kaya cut natin yung maintenance cost, pagbenta natin yung building, or iwan na lang natin yung property. Now, after developing those alternatives, let's now develop the prospective outcome. Okay? So, ano yung prospective outcome ng ating mga alternatives? Okay? Because that's the next step. Ano po? Sa option 1, raising the rent, we will raise the rent for us to determine how much yung itataas ng renta to cover yung ating expenses. Okay? This is our equation. Okay? So we have to raise the total monthly rent to $1,440 plus our dollars for the 4 apartments to cover the monthly expenses of 2,125. Okay? So yung 1/4 po, so yan lang naman ay nakuha dun sa $360 times 4 kasi 4 nga po yung apartment. Okay? To cover the monthly expense, so dinivide lang natin into 12. 'Di ba? Yung monthly expense natin na 15,000. Okay? So hindi pala kasi monthly expenses, so kasama na diyan yung mortgage. So 25,500 yan divided by 12. Ayan. Okay? So note that the minimum increase in rent would be, so kumbaga nag-reverse calculation tayo dito. Ano po? So 2,125 minus 1,440, then dividing that by 4, kasi nga 4 units yon, 4 apartments. Ibig sabihin, nag-come up tayo sa $171.25 per apartment per month to break even. So at least or nearly a 50% increase yung kailangan nating ipatong para lang mag-break even tayo. Okay? Hindi na nga para mag-gain pa. Ano, para na lang mag-break even. Yun na lang yung goal natin. Ano po, yun nga lang, the possible question in this alternative is, does the increase uh, kumbaga tatanggapin ba or hindi nung mga tenants yung increase na yon nung apartment? Okay? Kasi nga kung titingnan natin, 171.25, almost 50% of the rent is 360. Tataasan mo pa siya ng 171. So for a total of 171.25, so for a total of $531.25 per month na yung magiging rent nila. Okay? So again, that's how we develop the prospective outcome. Okay? Next is to reduce the maintenance. Okay? So to lower the monthly expenses to 2,125, again 2,125 is nakuha natin sa annual natin na 25,500 divided by 12. Okay? So that's 2,125. Okay? Minus $C. So yung $C na yon, yun yung i-reduce natin dun sa monthly expenses natin. So that these expenses are covered by the monthly revenue para lang ma-cover ng monthly revenue natin na 1,440 per month. So kumbaga dito, yung maintenance naman yung i-adjust natin. Kanina kasi yung renta. Ano po, dito yung um, expenses, yun yung gagalawin natin para lang, ano po, para lang kahit papaano ma-cover siya nung kinikita natin per month. So this would have to be accomplished primarily by lowering the maintenance cost, and monthly maintenance expenses would have to be reduced. So ano lang din tayo, reverse ano. Ayan, so meron tayong 1,440 minus 10,500. So 10,500, that is our annual mortgage. Annual, that's why we divide that by 12. And then we've come up to 565. Where nagkaroon tayo, yung maintenance natin, nag-drop siya to 565 from 1,250. And that's more than a 50% cut. Yun nga lang, it could hurt safety and quality of the building or the apartment. Ano po? So, yun yung pwedeng tumakbo sa isip natin. Ano po, kanina, tatanggapin kaya ng mga tenant yung increase na 50%. Dito, okay lang ba sa atin na magka tayo ng 50% na maaapektuhan naman yung safety ng tenants, yung quality ng building? Okay? And the next is to sell the building. Okay? We will try to sell the apartment for X dollars, which recovers yung original investment natin na $10,000 and recovers the $685 per month na loss natin on the venture during the time it was owned. Okay? So dito, we will sell the building. So kailangan ibenta natin siya ng medyo mataas. Ano po, ideally, mataas, high enough to recover yung $10,000 nating investment plus yung offset monthly losses natin of $685 during ownership. O kaya, let's abandon the building. So, yung bank magfo-foreclose. Yung investment, syempre, mawawala na yung ininvest niya. Yan nga lang, yung credit rating niya, it will suffer badly. Okay, so yun yung possible na outcome kung aabandonahin na lang niya yung building. Okay, so the bank would likely assume possession because nga of the foreclosure. So the bank forecloses, she loses investment, and then her credit rating will suffer badly. Okay. Now, after developing those possible or prospective outcomes, we will now proceed to the selection of a decision criterion. So ano ba yung goal natin? So yung goal natin para sa kaibigan natin is to simply minimize the financial loss. And the question is, para sa inyo, ano yung pwedeng maging option ng kaibigan natin? So do you agree na it could be option 1 or option 3 that makes the most sense out of minimizing the financial loss? Yes daw, sabi ni Miss Diana Rose, Miss Umali. Why po kaya, Miss Umali? Ano po kayang explanation mo pagdating dito?
Based po dun sa analysis ay mas maganda pong piliin yung number one kasi ipagbenta kung wala ka pong kikitain. Kasi sa mga paupahan naman po ngayon, if wala ka pong kinikita, kailangan mo magtaas ng renta katulad po dito. And kung magbababa ka naman po ng maintenance, maaaring ano nga po yun sa mga nagre-rent na maka-obtain po sila ng risk. Kaya po mas
Mm.
maganda mag-raise ng rent based on market conditions and apartment improvements po.
Ayan, very good. Ano, so kung yung goal na nga lang natin is to minimize financial loss, it's better to raise the rent o kaya pagbenta. Pero mas maganda pa rin to raise the rent. Ano po? Kasi since raising the rent is syempre may disadvantage nga din naman kasi kung matagal na yung nagre-rent sa inyo tapos bigla mong tataasan ng renta, mapapatanong siya bakit. And you just need to communicate, 'di ba? Communication naman talaga yung magandang gawin din. Ano po, na ipaliwanag natin kay tenant na ah yung pagtataas din naman ng rent is hindi siya hindi siya for the sake lang. Hindi mo kasi puwedeng sabihin sa kanila directly na, "Kasi nalulugi na ako." Hindi mo puwedeng sabihin 'yon, okay. So, paliwanagan niyo na lang siya na yung pagtataas ng renta, puwede nating, gamitin 'yon for the maintenance din. Ano, ipaliwanag na lang natin na para sa maintenance 'yan and then, since nga tama yung market condition kasi din na ano, so kailangan i-base din kasi natin sa market condition. Baka kasi mamaya at at that place ano po, ikaw lang naman pala yung may gano'ng kababang renta, okay. And based on the structure then of the building siyempre i-aayon mo din yung presyo nung renta dun sa structure, 'di ba? So kung okay naman talaga yung building, maganda naman yung building, well-maintained naman, maayos naman si landlord, 'di ba? Once na may mga ilaw, may mga, pipes, 'di ba, na nagli-leak, may ilaw na napunde, mabilis naman yung action. So it's better to raise the rent na nga lang, ano po, ayan. And then, considering other factors such as non-monetary factors, ano po, so if credit worthiness and reputation yung magiging criteria natin, yung unang criteria kasi is financial loss, eh, the expected loss of money, minimize natin. Dito naman, the credit worthiness yung magiging criteria. So kumbaga, option 4, abandoning the building, walking away is ruled out immediately. Okay? So ibig sabihin, option 3 naman, which is selling the apartment, could also damage yung kanyang credit rating. Ano po, if ipagbebenta niya yung property na hindi cover yung mortgage, ano po, so nakakaapekto din siya sa credit sa bank sa bangko. So that will leave option 1 and option 2 as the more practical choices naman. Okay, so it depends on the decision criteria natin. So kung financial loss, option 1 or 3. Kung credit worthiness naman, it could be option 1 and option 2. Okay. So next, lastly, is the selection of the preferred alternative. So ano ba yung ah, most realistic na alternative? Okay. So tama yung sinabi ni Miss Umali, ano yung depende sa market condition, depende sa rental market. Ano po, kasi if we were going to study the rental market, if similar apartments in the area rent more, 'di ba? Pwede siya magtaas ng renta. Kagaya nga ng sabi ko, possibly pwede niyang gamitin 'yon, pwede niyang ipagpaliwanag na 'yun ay para sa upgrades kagaya ng pagpapapintura, carpeting, small renovation, justify niya kasi yung increase, 'di ba, yung pagtaas ng renta. And if not, she may need to cut expenses carefully without compromising the safety or quality of the structure. Okay? So it can be option 1, okay, as the most realistic, as the most economic decision na maipapayo natin sa kaibigan natin. So based on our problem, so may problema talaga yung kaibigan natin. Kasi yung expenses niya nag-i-exceed dun sa revenues niya. So she should either raise the rent if the market allows or sell the property before the loss grow larger. But walking away is the worst option na pwede niyang gawin, and it could damage yung kanyang credit worthiness and reputation. But then again, the most economic decision na pwede niyang gawin dito is takasan na lang yung renta ng kanyang apartment. Okay? So, it's already 7:46, but tapos naman natin yung ating part 1 ng module 1. So, naintindihan naman po yung ating design process steps, and then naintindihan naman kung paano natin siya ina-apply sa mga problems. Ayan. Okay? So, again po, class rep, kindly naman po, baka makakahanap ng bakante. Parang may nakita akong bakante niyo ng Thursday. Hindi naman natin ima-maximize yung 3 hours. Kahit paano matapos lang natin yung part 2 ng module 1. Kasi yun naman ay, on, ay, onti na lang din naman siya. So more on terminologies naman to. Okay? So baka lang po makakana. Parang Thursday may nakita ako sa schedule yung bakante. So discuss lang natin yung part 2 ng module 1. Okay? So kung okay lang naman. So yan lang po muna for today. And then again, please inform me if meron po. Then we'll see you if time permits. Ayan. Hindi, okay. So, ayan. Sige po, hanggang dito lang muna tayo. So, thank you po everyone. Salamat po.